Hi, I'm Ben Messenger for Waste Management World. I'm in Munich at the IFAT exhibition. I'm on the ISWA stand with President David Newman.
Hi.
David, you've been busy this year. Can you tell us what you've been up to?
Well, as you know, last year I went to 20 countries over the course of the year, traveling and bringing the message that waste management is a really critical part of a clean society and in human health, as well as, the resource management, the CO2 arguments and such like. This year, I think I'll be in less countries, but still traveling. I think about a dozen countries. The thing I remember most recently, Ben, was 10 days ago, we spent a few days in Angola. And it's the first time as ISWA President I've been to Africa. And it was an exhilarating experience. And here you're talking of a country where people are urbanizing at a really rapid rate, population is exploding, people are getting wealthier, and therefore they're consuming. And they're going from producing 150, 200 kilos of waste per person up to 300, 400 over the next 2 or 3 years without any waste management systems in place at all. It's a really exhilarating experience.
And Dave, one of the things you were talking about in the latest issue of Waste Management World is the difficulty in implementing recycling schemes in the developing world. But from what you're just saying there, it's not necessarily just implementing recycling schemes, it's actually collecting the waste and developing safe disposal systems as well. Where do you see the biggest challenges are for that?
Well, you see, we're bringing our European models to a lot of these countries without realizing it's taken us 30, 40 years to implement our European models, and they're very expensive, Ben. All right, we spend 150, 200 euros per year per person to have recycling rates of 50, 60, 70%. The Germans actually spend around about 350 euro per household per year, they told me today, okay? Well, I mean, that's impossible in a place like Angola. The message is recycling and sustainable management of waste costs a lot of money. Now, what can we do in a country like Angola, the Philippines, Indonesia, and many, many others around the world with huge burgeoning populations with the budget they've got? Well, not much more than cleaning the streets, keeping waste off the streets, and putting it into a reasonably safe landfill. But not even that is being done. And the message we're trying to get across is that governments have to invest to ensure minimum levels of health and environmental safety.
And what are the barriers to achieving that investment at the moment?
Well, I think there's a psychological barrier. Governments just don't realize. You get messages like I got this last January from the mayor of Amman. In recycling, there's a gold mine, and my reply was, if you have a gold mine, you can recycle, okay? And in Jordan, people are paying 20 euro a year for their waste services, and they have no recycling. Well, recycling costs. You have to invest in it. You have to invest in the collection systems, infrastructure, and such like. And so the barrier is there is a big misperception amongst developing countries that recycling is going to resolve all their problems. It will in the long term when they can invest in it, but in the meantime, we have to invest in basic health infrastructure, and that is keeping waste off the streets and disposing of it safely.
David, it's been great catching up with you.
As always,
I'm sure
with you.
our readers will enjoy keeping up with your comments in the magazine.
Thanks a lot, Ben. Cheers.